It's super fun for me to solve the Rubik's Cube. I only know one particular way, so I will try to explain that to you as best as I can. So solving the first third of the cube, one of the rows, I start by inspecting the cube, moving it around, moving the rows around, and building a cross at one of the faces of the cube. The rest of the solving involves memorized moves to solve the second and third row to finish solving the cube. When solving the portion where you have memorized moves, I keep the cube from moving, just facing one direction. I just move the rows, that way I can use the memorized moves. This will be the front row, moving it right and left, right and left. This is called the right row, moving it right and left, right, left. This is the left row, moving it left and right, left. So when I first learned, I grabbed a piece of paper and I just wrote down the moves and I just practiced and memorized it. So let's go ahead and get started, and I hope I can explain this thorough enough so that you can enjoy solving the cube as well. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I do is I solve the cross. But I make sure that that cross also matches the center of the sides of this first row, along with the center of each face. So matching the blue with blue and the white up here. Inspecting the cube, looking down here, I found the white and green piece. So I'll start with the green and white. So here I'm looking for the green face of the cube, which is the center, the very middle of the middle green piece. And here it is. And now I gotta bring that white and green center piece to the very top. So I'll move it out of the way and bring the middle row down. My white piece is on the right side, so I'll bring it to match with the center piece. And then I could move that middle row back to where it was, just to keep it consistent, even though right now it doesn't matter as I don't have most of the cube solved. But now I have my white and green matching up. Moving on to the next white piece I find, which happens to be the white and orange. So to make it easier for me, I'll move that piece to the bottom so I could spin it around. And I need to find the orange face of the cube now, since I have the white and orange. And here it is. And it's easier to move it up once you have it at the bottom. So now all I have to do is spin this right row towards the right. And here it is. I have matched the white with the orange, the white face centerpieces with the orange face centerpieces, and the green centerpieces with the white. So now I'm gonna see what I can find next. And here's the red and white. It's already at the bottom conveniently, and here is the red face. Now all I have to do is move that right row towards the right to bring it up. I'm almost done with my cross. So I gotta find that last white centerpiece. Here it is, the white and blue. So I'll move that white part facing up, since it's already matching with the blue centerpiece. And now I have my cross matching the center pieces with all the faces with all the correct colors. And I can move on now to solving the rest of that top row, the corners. But they also have to match with the colors that they belong with each face. So I can move the cube around and inspect it and look to see which white piece I can bring up to the corner. So I found this piece, which happens to be in the correct location, just the colors are flipped all the way around. There's the blue face, the orange face, and I have the blue, white, and orange piece. I'm moving the right row down to move that piece out of the way. And then I'll move the bottom row to bring my right row back up so that the white and orange parts can stay matching. And then there's a move that you can do to bring that piece up to that particular corner. So I'll bring that piece to the bottom of where I need to place it. And then I can move that row. And then I'll bring that piece where I want it to go to match the white with the orange with the blue, and then I put it back to where it belongs so I can keep my white cross. And so you see it's ready. So now I'll look for the next, which is the red, white, and blue, and it goes in this particular corner. So I can move this row down and just bring that piece to match, and then put it back where it belongs to stay with my cross at the top. And now this right corner piece has the wrong location, so I'll move that out of the way, and this piece belongs up there. So I'll get, with one move, I can move that orange, green, and white out of the way and put the correct one, which is the white, green, and red. So I'll move that row down and then bring that matching piece and then put it back in its place. And now I know where that other piece is, and it's already at that corner of the bottom of the correct corner. And so I'll move this row down so I can bring this piece to match and then bring it back to match. And now I have my very top row all done, and it matches each face. So what I'll do next is solve the middle row, and I'll flip the cube upside down. This is where I will be using the memorized moves to solve the rest of the cube. And since I'll be using the memorized moves, I'll make sure to keep the face that I'm working on facing me without moving so that I don't get confused on the memorized moves. So here I want to show you, even though this row is all green, however, that center piece up here does not belong there. It belongs next to this red. Since it's green and red, it belongs in this particular spot. So those are the areas I'll be working on next. Each center piece I need to match with the correct matching colors. So I'll inspect it before I decide where to set the face, which will be facing me while I'll do the moves. So the green face of the cube will be facing me at all times. Here is the red face side of the cube, which happens to be on my left. Here is the orange face side of the cube, which is the right side. So I'm setting up so I can apply my memorized moves. So since I chose the green to face me, the piece that I'm working on, the green also has to be facing me. And since that particular piece has green and the red face of the cube is on my left, now it's set up and I can use my memorized moves. Top row, left. Left row, left. Top row, left. Here's the piece I'm working on. Left row, right. Top row, right. I need to bring these two together. Front row, right. Matching up the white pieces, trying to keep the green facing me. Top row, right. And front row, left. So see, here I have my green and red piece matching. And I'll inspect the cube and move on to the next one. So here I have my green and orange. So again, and the green face side of the cube is on my left, so I'll go ahead and start to apply my moves according to that particular setup. Top row left, left row left, top row left, left row right, top row right, front row right, top row right, and front row left. So there's our piece set up, and now we can start on the next one. Here's the blue and orange, so setting up, blue on top of blue. The orange face side of the cube is on my left. Now I can apply those memorized moves. So top row left, left row left, top row left, left row right, top row right, front row right, top row right, and front row left, matching my centerpiece. So if you find one of your pieces in the correct location, just turned the wrong way for the colors, you can use this set of memorized moves to get that piece flipped, or first out of there and then back into that same spot, but with the correct colors facing the correct way. So this determines the blue to be my facing side of the cube, and I can start my moves. The piece I need to move out is on my right side, so take notes for this sequence. Right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, front row left, top row left, front row right. And now the piece is out. So now I have to search for it. And here it is. So I gotta bring it back to set it up before I start the sequence to bring the piece to its correct location. So the red face side of the cube is on my right. So here is the moves I'll have to do now that I have it set up. Top row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, front row, it's gonna go left, top row left, and bringing it back to place, front row right. So here you see I have both rows all done, and now I just need to do that last row. So the next thing we need to do is make the cross here at the top, and just the cross. You don't have to match the centers, because if you try to do that you might mess up the cube. So you do one thing at a time. So we'll start with the cross, and the sequence is front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. So there's no cross yet, so you keep doing it. Same exact move again. Front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. So see, now you have your cross, and the next thing we need to do is match the center pieces. So see how this one matches the green, but the orange and red don't? So I'm just gonna switch it this way, and you see I have two pieces here that match, the red and the blue. When you have two pieces like this, what you do is you face one away from you and one to the right of you, so that you'll be working with the face that does not have one matched. And there's a move that will match up the rest of the centers, these two pieces. However, before I show you the move, I wanted to tell you how important it is to stay focused on the cube, which is what I like about doing the cube, is it gives you a form of distraction. But as soon as your mind starts to wander off and you're doing the moves in autopilot, you can really mess up the cube, which is what I did here. So I will show you, and I'll refix it, and I will show you where we left off. So about here is where I realized, I made a wrong move somewhere, which messed up my cube. So now I just have to go back and refix the two layers again and start all over again with my cross on top. So we're back to having one piece missing from the second row, and here it is. So let's just practice one more time. It's already set up with the blue on stacked on top. So, and the red is on the right side. So I'll go ahead and start with the sequence, the memorized sequence. So the blue side is going to be facing you. Top row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, front row left, top row left, and front row right. So now we can start again with building the cross on top. When you get to this part, you can make any face face you. Since blue's already facing me, I'll make that the face that's facing me. So here's the sequence to make the cross. Front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. And no cross yet, so I'll do the same move until you get it. Front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. So again. Let me just adjust it so I can work easier. And then again. Front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. So there's no cross still, but I know that there's a rule where if you have 4 squares at the upper left hand corner, you put them there, upper left hand, and then you start again. Front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. Again, front row right, right row right, top row right, right row left, top row left, and front row left. So here we have a cross. Let's see if any of the center pieces match. So this one matches and the green one. And like I said, the other two don't match, but when you have two that match, you put one on the right hand side of you and one away from you. And get ready to take notes again. Here is the sequence once you have the cross to match all the center pieces. Right row right, top row right, right row left, top row right, right row right, top row right, top row right, right row left, and top row right. So let's check. And we got all the center pieces matched with our cross. So now what we have left is the 4 corners. But see, our center pieces all match. So let me inspect the cube and see what's going on. And what I look for first is to see if any of the pieces match. So for example, this one is in the correct spot, just the colors are mixed up, but the rest are not. So the first thing I need to do is bring all the pieces to their correct location, whether they go on correctly or not. And you can make any face you. I'm choosing the blue one. Since this top corner piece, it's already in its correct location. So the sequence is, ready to take notes, top row right, right row right, top row left, left row left, top row right, right row left, top row left, and left row right. So now I can take a look and inspect the cube and see what happened. So that piece is still in its correct spot. And it looks like I need to do this move again. So here it goes again. Top row right, right row right, top row left, left row left, top row right, right row left, top row left, and left row right. So now inspecting the cube, I have one piece already all done. And this piece is still in its correct location, just the colors are wrong. This piece is all done. And this last piece, it's in its correct location, just the colors are wrong. So now choose one of the pieces and that'll be your face that you'll be working with. And take notes. Here are gonna be the moves. These will stay okay. You just need to work around them. And the face that you'll be working with is the face that has one of the pieces that needs to be fixed. So in this case, I will choose the blue one, but I could have chosen the other side. And I just want to remind you that this last move will mess up these 2 rows, but don't panic. As long as you do the correct sequence, everything will end up in its correct spot at the end. So here it is, the blue face is facing me, and that's how I will be working. When you come to this very end, you will be moving this top row clockwise as you fix each corner. So you do the sequence and then you switch to the next piece that needs to be fixed. So if all 4 corners needed to be fixed, then you work each sequence and then move the top. But there's only 2, so we'll only be working with the 2. So here it goes. Taking notes. Right row left. Bottom row right. Right row right. Bottom row left. Right row left, bottom row right, right row right, and our piece is good, but there's still one more move to the sequence, and it's bottom row left. So now that this top corner piece is set up, you move on to the next. So here we're going to turn the top row right. Just showing you here how the cube got mixed up. Let's move that top row right. If that corner was not in its correct spot, then you would work that sequence, but since it is, you keep going to the next corner. So here it is. This one's not in its correct color spot, so we'll go ahead and do that same exact sequence. Right row left, bottom row right, right row right, bottom row left, right row left, bottom row right, right row right, and bottom row left. Again, right row left, bottom row right, right row right, bottom row left, right row left, bottom row right, right row right, and don't forget bottom row would go left. And you see, here is the pieces already ready. And now all you have to do is just adjust the colors. And woohoo! We finished solving the Rubik's Cube. And once it's done, you could play around and decorate. Or just put it back. I hope I explained this good enough for you to be able to solve it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.